Doris Ridlon, and in the hospital. This is Tuesday before Thanksgiving, 2018. What I wanted to say was, and I'm hurting quite a little bit, but anyway, I have not properly cared for myself, even though I have these chronic illnesses. I'm not saying that anything that happened to my sons in their effort to get an education had anything directly to do with me getting sick. And it did have something directly to do with me not taking better care of myself when I knew that I could be really badly ill. It didn't hit me until, I guess, a few months ago how very badly ill it could be. I only have one kidney that was removed in September 28th of 1968 from kidney disease, a result of a bad vascular system. I'm 71 and I wasn't supposed to be able to make it this far, but I've done rather well until I lost my kidney, and then now I've had quite a lot of difficulty with that, and I had cancer and the radiation from the cancer when I had uterine cancer, and that radiation resulted in me losing my descending colon, and that put me to colostomy for life. I have severe learning disabilities. I can't read or spell worth a flip, but I've been very lucky, very blessed. I'm quite intelligent, and I was hired a little over 25 years ago, very part-time because of my various illnesses, with Centers for Youth and Families, where I, as a childbirth educator, went into the public school systems for an hour group for anywhere from 4 to 5 different schools, 1 or 2 sessions for 3 days. That's all I could work, was just maybe 5 hours a day, a little bit more, maybe 6 hours a day. I don't remember for sure. But I loved it. I didn't think I would do well with so many pregnant teens, but I loved it. And they thought enough of what I could do to give me a job, and even hired me a secretary. It had to cut my hours short, but I loved the work too. 2 years later, they had to let the secretary go because she was too much money, but my supervisor wanted me to stay enough, and so did the program that the centers kept me on, with various supervisors doing my spelling and so forth. I went to numerous workshops and worked on various programs. I did clinical crafts for the kids that were in day programs, many of them in Little Rock Penal sound system, I guess you might say. I did some work at Arkansas Cares for various supervisors there that involved my working again with the children. I have worked for 27 years with St. Michael's Episcopal Church, doing again children's crafts. I've been highly respected for what I could do. But I have seen my sons all treated pretty much like garbage, trying to get a job or getting a job. And then Tony, my oldest son, worked for over 10 and a half years and then was fired without cause whatsoever. Even after hearings and letters and such, the unemployment area of Arkansas put him on complete unemployment for, I don't know, over a year or two. But he has been so depressed and so disturbed that he hasn't gotten work since then. Young men are treated horribly, and to have observed some of what they have been put through, Brian and Matthew at ACTI, I thought it would be such an opportunity, and I completely was thrilled and loved the effort that Brian had made. I don't mean Brian, I mean Matthew had made with his programs until I found out he didn't have a kitchen to do his culinary arts in. He rarely cooked anything, and from start to finish, he didn't, as I was talking to him, he didn't know what a basic roux was. He had no idea what tiramisu was, didn't know what generally the difference in a braise and a sear. So much he had not learned. He learned a lot about things being sterile and clean and how properly to deal with so much, and he progressed brilliantly. But he was never going to have a job, whereas was promised in a brochure. He had a job, he used to be able to get jobs in schools and hotels and fine restaurants, and he has not been hired anywhere to do anything. He has been depressed, and what started out to be a good experience ended up for him to be horror. The physical setup resulted in him getting bed bugs and other assorted things. Brian was worse. He thought he was doing okay. To find out that he passed the test. Nobody gave him counseling about being bad or not doing things right. And then when he was assessed, he was told he would not be in the program. He would not be admitted. He was denied admission to his cosmetology program. He was devastated. He had physical problems too that he suffered, and I should have been better caring for my own personal health. Only have one kidney. Now I have a stent, or how you say the thing.
Stent.
I'm upset that don't get stuff really well when I am, but it's up in me to try to get pus out of me. I have a colostomy and it's plugged up. And I don't know what they're going to do with me.
Mom.
At
I
any
can
rate,
see this is stressing you out. If you want to go ahead and call it, you can.
at any rate, my Thanksgiving, my life, a whole lot of things has been hurt by learning disabilities. But I've done well, but it's killed me to see my sons be destroyed. Frankly, I'm hurt. I'm angry. I'm sick.
Well, Mother, if you want to...
I have worked my whole life as much as I could work. I'm even employed now. And I couldn't make it to church on Sunday. I tried real hard. But I couldn't make it, and I went to the emergency room, and they put me in the hospital. I can't name any one individual as fault. But I hadn't ought to have to live the last years of my life worrying if my sons could ever be taught, because I know they can't be. They're every bit as smart as I am. But they need help, and they don't want to help young men as much as they do young women.
Okay.
I read about a 5th grade level, except in my field of study as a childbirth educator. The persons who taught me had a son who was very disabled. I am a teacher of the Bradley method, though I've been long since retired. But I am a member of the AAHCC, the American Academy of Husband-Coached Childbirth. And while I was able, I did very, very well. And it was on the basis of that education that I got my job with the Centers for Youth and Families. And I was on loan to the Little Rock School District to do about 18 hours work during the school year every week. And I loved it. I had to have a lot of help spelling this, writing that, but I could dictate it, and somebody else could spell it, and somebody else could type it up. I made it, but I don't know that there's anybody out there who would care enough to help either one of them. So far, they haven't. Tony's in his late 40s. Brian is middle 40s. And Matthew is middle 30s. And they have anything but had a fair shake. If my telling my story, regardless of how hard it is for me to talk about it, if it helps anybody, I did a good thing in that regard too. I've done wonderful work, and I've never had a speck of shame about any of it. But it's harder for a man to say, how do you spell when there were times I couldn't spell it. At any rate, if anybody would see this video and have any concern for 3 young men who have been brought up to the best of my ability.
3 young men, and even and even the other people have gone to that school that.
Well, other people too. Yes, of course, it's gone to that school.
Yeah.
But what has hurt and killed me the past 2 or 3 years has been seeing my sons fall apart. Right now, my health is gone. Not one of them have a job, and they would be doing nobody a favor by getting a job working 10 hours a week, making minimum wage. That helps nothing for them. That takes them out of the option. I never worked for minimum wage because I never intended to see myself be taken out of the option of doing something better and to prove to people I had a message, not just to teach what someone taught me, but to tell also to so many of these young women that I worked with and so many of the children. They were in poverty situations by a majority. And
Mom.
More than I could number.
Yeah.
Were learning disabled just as am I.
Yeah.
And many of them turned to alcohol, drugs, confusion, begging on the streets. I can't see that for my sons and those other young people in ACTI. Somebody somewhere could do something more than this. And I need to hush because I need to not.
You're stressing yourself out too much. I want you to, Mother, why don't you take a break, okay?
Okay.
I love you, Mother. I'm sorry.
Boys too,
I'm so sorry about all this.
I love you 3 boys too. Thank you. Whoever would help, I would be appreciative for an eternity, and so would some of the people that you can help. Thank you.
I'm just going to say this is me, Matthew Ridlon, and I'm so infuriated right now that I could throw up. This is disgusting.
Let me have a washcloth and you hang up from that